Today, we're diving into the world of strategic decision-making processes. Imagine you're standing at a crossroads, facing multiple directions, but only one path will lead to success. So how do you choose wisely? Well, let's start by understanding what makes up this process. First off, it all begins with defining your goals and objectives. Picture yourself laying out the map of where you want to go. It's not enough to just have a vague idea like I want to be successful, but rather specific targets such as increasing sales by 20 within 6 months or launching a new product line. Next, gather all relevant information. This means digging deep into market trends, customer preferences, competitor moves, and internal capabilities. Think of it as collecting puzzle pieces that will help you see the bigger picture. Once you have your data in place, start analyzing it critically to identify key factors influencing your decision-making process. Now comes the brainstorming phase where creative ideas are born. Don't limit yourself here. Every idea counts no matter how wild or unconventional they might seem at first glance. Afterward, evaluate these options based on feasibility, alignment with goals, and potential risks versus rewards. It's also crucial to consider different perspectives during this stage that includes input from team members, stakeholders, and even external experts if needed. This collaborative approach helps in identifying blind spots and brings fresh viewpoints to the table. Once you've narrowed down your options, it's time for decision-making itself. At this juncture, trust your instincts but also rely on quantitative data and qualitative insights gathered throughout the process. Remember that every choice carries potential outcomes. Weigh them carefully before making a final call. After settling on your strategy, don't forget about implementation planning. Break down large goals into smaller, actionable steps with clear timelines and responsibilities assigned to team members. Regular monitoring and adjustments will ensure you stay on track towards achieving those initial objectives. Lastly, remember that strategic decision-making is an ongoing cycle. Reflecting on past decisions and outcomes allows for continuous improvement in future processes. So there we have it, from defining goals to reflecting on results. This framework helps navigate the complexities of making high-stakes business choices. Today, we're diving into why effective decision-making is so crucial in organizations. Imagine you're at the helm of a ship, navigating through stormy seas. Every decision can make all the difference between safety and disaster. In this scenario, effective decisions act as your compass guiding your team towards success. First off, let's talk about how decisions impact outcomes. When you make sound choices, it drives better performance and results in your organization. Picture a high-performance sports team making key plays under pressure. That's what we're aiming for here. Good decisions lead to increased productivity, improved efficiency, and higher profitability. It all adds up. Secondly, let's not forget about risk management. Effective decision-making helps you mitigate risks. Think of it like driving a car with brakes. Knowing when to slow down or stop can prevent accidents. In business terms, this means identifying potential pitfalls early on and taking steps to avoid them. Now, let's talk about leadership. When leaders make informed decisions consistently, they build trust and confidence among their teams. It fosters a culture of reliability and dependability. Team members are more likely to follow leaders who demonstrate sound judgment and decisiveness. Another aspect is innovation. Effective decision-making encourages creativity and new ideas within an organization. Instead of sticking to the status quo, teams feel empowered to think outside the box and come up with innovative solutions. This drives growth and helps organizations stay ahead of the curve. Lastly, let's touch on stakeholder satisfaction. When decisions are well thought out and communicated effectively, stakeholders, whether they're employees, customers, investors, or partners, have more confidence in your organization's direction. It creates a positive reputation for reliability and success. In conclusion, effective decision-making is the backbone of organizational success. It drives performance, manages risk, builds leadership credibility, spurs innovation, and satisfies stakeholders. By making informed choices, you guide your team towards achieving their goals and navigating through any challenges that come their way. So next time you're faced with a big decision, remember to weigh all factors carefully. It could be the difference between sinking or swimming in today's competitive business world. Today, we're diving into something really valuable for any business or project SWOT analysis. Now, what exactly is it? Well, imagine you're standing in front of your company like a general looking at an army map. You want to know where your strengths are, identify weaknesses that need addressing, spot opportunities that could help you expand, and face up to threats that might hold you back. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, four key areas that will give you a clear picture of what's going on. So let's break it down step by step. First off, strengths are your company's unique selling points or skills where you outshine the competition. For example, if you have high-quality products or excellent customer service, those would be considered strengths. Next up, weaknesses. These are areas that could hold you back and might include things like limited resources or a less than stellar reputation. Then we move on to opportunities. These are external factors you can use to your advantage, such as market trends or changes in consumer behavior. For instance, if there's suddenly high demand for eco-friendly products and your company specializes in those, that would be an opportunity you should seize. Lastly, threats. These are external challenges that could negatively impact your business, like new competitors moving into the market or economic downturns. Now here's how SWOT can help you. By identifying all of these factors, it gives you a clear picture of where you stand and what steps you need to take next. It's like having a compass for your business pointing out which direction is best suited for growth and success. Plus, when done properly, it encourages teamwork and collaboration because everyone can contribute their perspectives on strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So how do you go about doing a SWOT analysis? Start by gathering key stakeholders from different departments in your company or project team. Have them brainstorm these four areas separately to avoid groupthink and ensure all aspects are covered. Once you have the lists compiled, review them together as a group and refine any points that might need adjustment. Remember, SWOT is not just for businesses. It can be applied anywhere you want to assess your position, whether it's for personal development or even planning out a new project. The beauty of this tool lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. By understanding where you stand relative to others and identifying key areas for improvement or growth, you're setting yourself up for success. In conclusion, SWOT analysis is an incredibly powerful tool that helps businesses and individuals assess their position, identify strengths and weaknesses, spot opportunities, and face threats head-on. It's a straightforward yet effective way to navigate challenges and capitalize on opportunities in any field. Today, we're diving into the nitty-gritty of SWOT matrices, which are incredibly useful tools for analyzing strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in any business setting. Let's start by breaking down each component to understand how they fit together. First up, let's talk about strengths. These are the positive attributes or qualities that give your organization an edge over competitors. Think about things like high-quality products, skilled employees, strong brand recognition, or robust financial resources. When identifying strengths, it's crucial to focus on what sets you apart and makes you stand out in the market. Next, we have weaknesses. These are internal areas where your business could improve. They might include limited product offerings, outdated technology, poor customer service, or insufficient marketing strategies. Understanding these weaknesses is key because they can hinder growth and success if left unaddressed. Now let's move on to opportunities. These are external factors that you can capitalize on for competitive advantage. For instance, expanding into new markets, forming strategic partnerships, or embracing emerging technologies could all be opportunities worth pursuing. Identifying these opportunities requires a keen eye and the ability to foresee future trends and developments. Lastly, we come to threats. Just like weaknesses, threats are external factors that could negatively impact your business. They might include increased competition, regulatory changes, economic downturns, or shifts in consumer preferences. By identifying these potential threats early on, you can develop strategies to mitigate their effects. When constructing a SWOT matrix, it's important to organize these elements into a structured format, typically divided into 4 quadrants. Strengths and weaknesses are internal factors, while opportunities and threats are external. This layout helps visualize how each component interacts with the others and provides a comprehensive overview of your business landscape. Remember, a SWOT analysis isn't just about listing strengths and weaknesses. It's about understanding how they impact your overall strategy and positioning in the market. By doing so, you can leverage your strengths to capitalize on opportunities while addressing weaknesses to minimize threats. So there you have it: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats make up the core components of a SWOT matrix. Use this tool effectively, and you'll be better equipped to navigate business challenges and seize new opportunities with confidence. That's all for today's lesson on SWOT matrices. I hope you found it insightful and helpful as you continue your journey in strategic planning and analysis. Today, we're going to dive into something really important: identifying your internal strengths. So why does this matter? Well, knowing what you're good at can help you unlock new opportunities, boost confidence, and even improve your overall performance in any area of life. Let's start by thinking about what an internal strength is. It's not just a skill or talent you were born with. An internal strength could be something like resilience, adaptability, creativity, leadership qualities, traits that make up who you are as a person and help you handle challenges effectively. Now, how do we identify these strengths? One way to start is by reflecting on experiences where you felt really proud of yourself or accomplished something important. Maybe it was leading a project at work, solving a difficult problem, or even helping someone else out in need. These moments often reveal the internal strengths that helped you succeed. Another approach is to ask people close to you, friends, family members, colleagues, for feedback about what they see as your key qualities and strengths. Sometimes others can spot things in us that we don't notice ourselves. Once you've identified some potential strengths, it's important to think about how these traits have benefited you or helped you overcome obstacles in the past. For example, if resilience is one of your strengths, you might recall times when you persevered despite setbacks and came out stronger on the other side. Now that we've got a handle on identifying internal strengths, let's talk about putting them to use. Developing these strengths further can lead to significant personal growth and success. You could do this by setting goals aligned with your strengths or seeking opportunities where they can be showcased and nurtured. In conclusion, knowing your internal strengths is like having a superpower that you didn't even realize was there. By identifying and leveraging them, you're better equipped to tackle challenges, seize new opportunities, and continue growing as an individual. Today, we're diving into evaluating the significance of identified strengths. When you've pinpointed your strengths, the next step is to understand how impactful they are in your life and career. Let's take it step by step. Firstly, consider each strength you've identified and think about how often you use it. Is it a high-ticket skill that you utilize frequently, or does it come into play only occasionally? Knowing this helps you gauge its relevance and importance. Next, assess the impact your strengths have on your work and personal life. Do they significantly boost productivity or make your tasks easier to handle? Are you recognized for these skills by colleagues or supervisors? High impact means high significance. Then think about how transferable these strengths are in different contexts. Can they be applied across various roles or projects? If yes, that's a significant strength as it gives you flexibility and adaptability. Also, consider your personal satisfaction with each strength. Do you enjoy using them regularly? Satisfaction is crucial for motivation and engagement. High enjoyment means high significance in terms of personal fulfillment. Lastly, reflect on how these strengths contribute to achieving your goals or aspirations. Are they key elements that help you move forward professionally or personally? If so, their importance becomes even more evident. By analyzing these aspects, frequency of use, impact, transferability, personal satisfaction, and alignment with goals, you can evaluate the significance of each identified strength comprehensively. Understanding this will guide you in leveraging your strengths effectively and making informed decisions about how to invest time and resources to further develop them. Let's dive right into recognizing organizational weaknesses. It's essential to understand where your team might be lacking so you can improve overall performance. Think about it this way. If you're playing basketball and notice your defense is weak, wouldn't you want to focus on strengthening that area? The same principle applies in the workplace. So how do we start identifying these weaknesses? Well, first off, gather feedback from all levels of your organization: employees, managers, even stakeholders. Conduct surveys or interviews if necessary. Ask about processes, communication, teamwork, anything that could be impacting performance negatively. This gives you a broad view of areas needing attention. Next, look at metrics and KPIs closely. Numbers don't lie. If there's a consistent drop in productivity or quality over time, it might indicate underlying issues like outdated tools or inefficient workflows. Addressing these early can save significant resources later on. Don't forget about the nitty-gritty details too. Sometimes small problems can become big ones if left unchecked. For instance, ineffective meeting structures could be wasting precious hours each week. That's a lot of lost productivity. Also consider the organizational structure itself. Are there clear lines of communication and responsibility? If not, confusion and delays in decision-making might slow things down considerably. Another key area is employee engagement. High turnover or low morale can be red flags for deeper issues like poor leadership or unsatisfying work conditions. Tackling these head-on ensures a motivated workforce ready to tackle challenges together. Lastly, look at how your team handles change and innovation. If there's resistance to new ideas or slow adoption of technologies, you might have cultural barriers that need breaking down. By regularly assessing these areas, you're setting yourself up for success by addressing weaknesses early on. Remember, acknowledging problems doesn't mean failure. It means recognizing opportunities for improvement. So there you go, a solid framework to identify and address organizational weaknesses effectively. All right, let's dive into our next topic: addressing and mitigating weaknesses. Now, we all know that every one of us has areas where we could improve, right? Whether it's public speaking, time management, or even just staying organized, everyone has their own set of challenges. So how do we turn these weaknesses into strengths? Well, first things first, let's start by identifying those weaknesses. Take a good hard look at yourself and see where you're falling short. Maybe ask for feedback from colleagues or friends who can give you an honest opinion. Once you've pinpointed your weak spots, it's time to develop strategies to tackle them head-on. For example, if public speaking is your nemesis, consider joining a group like Toastmasters. They offer a supportive environment where you can practice and improve your skills without judgment. Another option could be signing up for workshops or online courses that teach techniques for effective communication and presentation. Now, let's talk about time management. If this is something that plagues you, try implementing tools like calendars or digital planners to keep track of deadlines and appointments. Break down big projects into smaller tasks so they feel more manageable. And don't forget the power of prioritization. Focus on what's most important and tackle those items first. Another common weakness is staying organized. To combat this, establish routines that help maintain order. For instance, at the end of each day, spend a few minutes tidying up your workspace or digital files so everything starts fresh the next morning. Investing in tools like labeled folders or project management software can also make a huge difference. Now, here's the kicker. Don't just stop once you've addressed these weaknesses. Continue to refine and improve upon them over time. Think of it as an ongoing process rather than a one-time fix. Regularly assess your progress, seek feedback, and adjust your strategies accordingly. So there you have it, folks. By identifying our weak spots and developing targeted plans to address them, we can turn those weaknesses into strengths. Remember, everyone has areas where they need improvement, but with the right approach, these challenges become opportunities for growth. Okay, let's dive into our next topic: detecting external opportunities. When we talk about this concept, we're really looking at identifying those chances that exist outside of your immediate control, but can significantly impact your success. Think of it like spotting trends in the market or recognizing a shift in consumer behavior. These are all types of external opportunities you could tap into. To start off, let's consider how to effectively detect these opportunities. The first step is to stay informed about what's happening around you. This means keeping up with industry news, economic forecasts, and technological advancements that might change the game for your business or venture. A great way to do this is by reading relevant publications and attending conferences or seminars where experts share insights. Next, it's important to network. Building relationships can give you access to insider information and help you learn about emerging trends before they become mainstream. Engage with peers in your field and participate in professional groups, online or offline. These connections can provide valuable leads and ideas for opportunities. Another key aspect is analyzing customer feedback and market research data. By listening closely to what customers are saying, you might uncover an unmet need that could be turned into a business opportunity. For example, if many people complain about how hard it is to find high-quality local produce, maybe there's an opening for a specialty grocery store or delivery service. Also, don't overlook the importance of innovation in detecting opportunities. Sometimes, external changes create room for new solutions or products that didn't exist before. So being open to experimentation and creative thinking can really pay off here. Lastly, it's crucial to evaluate these potential opportunities carefully before diving in headfirst. Look at factors like market size, competition, and regulatory environment to determine if the opportunity is worth pursuing given your resources and expertise. In conclusion, detecting external opportunities requires a proactive approach focused on staying informed, networking effectively, analyzing customer needs, embracing innovation, and conducting thorough evaluations of potential ventures. By doing so, you can position yourself to take advantage of valuable chances that come along and help drive your success forward. That's it for this segment. Thanks for tuning in. Let's dive into session 5.2, where we're going to explore how to leverage those opportunities for growth that you've identified. It's really exciting when you see these chances pop up because now it's all about taking action and making the most of them. Let's start with a simple example. Imagine you're running a small business, maybe selling handcrafted jewelry online. You've noticed there's high demand for personalized pieces, especially around holidays. This is an opportunity to offer custom designs or perhaps holiday-themed collections that could really boost sales during those times. The key here is not just identifying the trend, but also understanding how it fits into your overall business strategy. Now, let's think about another type of growth opportunity: expanding your reach through partnerships or collaborations. Say you're a local bakery looking to increase visibility and customer base. Partnering with a nearby coffee shop could be a great way to do this. By cross-promoting each other's products, you can attract new customers while also encouraging existing ones to visit both places more often. When it comes to leveraging these opportunities, it's important to plan effectively. You don't want to jump into something without knowing how it fits into your business goals. So take the time to assess the potential impact and ensure that any new venture aligns with your overall vision for growth. Another thing to consider is scaling up operations or services. For instance, if you're a graphic designer who's been working solo, but now has consistent high-ticket clients coming in, it might be time to think about hiring additional staff or outsourcing some tasks so you can focus more on the creative work rather than administrative duties. Remember, leveraging opportunities doesn't just mean doing something new. It could also involve refining existing processes to make them even better. For example, if you're a software developer looking to improve your product offerings, investing in user experience design might be key. This not only enhances your product, but can lead to more satisfied customers and positive word of mouth. In conclusion, identifying opportunities is just the first step towards growth. The real magic happens when you take action on those insights, whether that's by creating new products, forming partnerships, or improving existing services. By thoughtfully leveraging these chances, you can propel your business forward in meaningful ways. That's it for now. Feel free to discuss any questions or ideas about how you might apply this to your own situation. Let's dive into understanding how we can identify potential threats to our organization. Picture this: you're standing guard at the entrance of your company, looking out for any signs that might jeopardize its success. Now, to do this effectively, let's break it down step by step. First things first, we need to understand what kinds of threats could come knocking on our door. These include everything from external factors like market competition or regulatory changes, to internal ones such as employee misconduct or operational inefficiencies. By recognizing these potential dangers early, we can better prepare ourselves and protect the organization's interests. Next up, let's talk about how we assess these risks. It involves gathering information from various sources that could be industry reports, news articles, or even feedback from within our own team. Once we've gathered this intel, it's important to analyze each threat carefully. We'll look at its potential impact and likelihood of occurrence. This helps us prioritize which threats need immediate attention. Now, let's not forget about the nitty-gritty details when identifying these risks. For instance, if a high-ticket client is considering leaving us for another provider, we should assess why that might be happening and what steps we can take to retain their business. Every little detail counts in understanding the bigger picture. Lastly, it's crucial to establish a proactive approach towards mitigating these threats. This could involve developing strategies or policies aimed at reducing risk exposure. Regular reviews of our security measures and staying updated with industry trends will ensure we're always one step ahead. In conclusion, identifying potential threats is an essential part of safeguarding our organization's future. By being vigilant and strategic in our approach, we can turn these risks into opportunities for growth and improvement. Well, let's dive into developing strategies to overcome threats today, because knowing how to face challenges head-on is crucial for any successful venture. Now, when we talk about overcoming threats, it's important to first identify what those threats are and understand why they're affecting your business or project negatively. Once you have a clear picture of the threats at hand, you can start brainstorming ways to address them. For example, if you're dealing with high-ticket items in a retail store that aren't selling well due to market saturation, one strategy could be to offer promotional discounts to boost sales temporarily and gain customer interest. Another approach might involve partnering with complementary businesses or launching marketing campaigns to highlight unique features of your products. When faced with financial threats, such as increasing operating costs, you can explore ways to cut expenses without compromising quality. This could mean renegotiating contracts with suppliers for better pricing terms or investing in energy-efficient equipment to reduce utility bills over time. Additionally, diversifying revenue streams by introducing new product lines or services tailored to existing customer needs can provide a cushion against financial instability. Now, let's talk about how to handle threats related to competition. If competitors are eating away at your market share, it might be time to revisit your unique selling proposition and see if there's room for improvement. Investing in research and development could help you innovate new products or services that set you apart from the crowd. Also, focusing on exceptional customer service can create loyal repeat customers who are less likely to switch to competitors. Finally, don't forget about threats posed by regulatory changes or compliance issues. Staying ahead of these challenges requires keeping an eye on industry news and engaging with legal experts to ensure your business remains compliant without unnecessary burden. Proactive planning here could save you from costly fines or disruptions down the line. So there you have it, a few strategies for tackling different types of threats. The key takeaway is that by being proactive, adaptable, and creative in how you approach challenges, you can turn potential pitfalls into opportunities for growth. Today, we're diving into an exciting case study that will help us apply SWOT analysis to a real-world business scenario. So let's get started by laying out what SWOT means: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. These elements are crucial when assessing any business or project. For our example today, imagine you're the manager of a high-end boutique specializing in luxury clothing. First off, let's look at the strengths. This boutique offers unique, handcrafted items that appeal to a niche market willing to pay premium prices for quality and exclusivity. The boutique also has strong customer loyalty due to its excellent service and personalized touch. These are definite pluses. Now, onto weaknesses. While the boutique excels in product quality, it might struggle with limited stock variety since everything is handmade. Additionally, the boutique's location could be a drawback if it's not centrally located or accessible enough for potential customers. So these are areas that need improvement. Next up are opportunities. The growing trend towards sustainable fashion could work to the boutique's advantage, as they can market themselves as environmentally conscious by using eco-friendly materials and practices. Also, expanding their online presence could help attract a broader customer base beyond just local shoppers. Lastly, we have threats. The biggest threat here is competition from large retail chains that offer similar luxury clothing at lower prices due to economies of scale. Additionally, the boutique might face challenges from counterfeit goods flooding the market, potentially confusing customers about authenticity and quality. Now let's put all this together. By leveraging their strengths in craftsmanship and customer service, the boutique can position itself as a premium brand. To address weaknesses in stock variety and location, they could consider partnerships with other boutiques or perhaps move to a more central location. Opportunities like sustainable fashion and e-commerce expansion offer growth potential. Meanwhile, staying ahead of counterfeit goods and competing prices will require consistent quality control and marketing efforts. So there you have a clear SWOT analysis for our boutique case study. It's fascinating how this simple framework can highlight such important aspects of a business. Today, we're diving into an exciting exercise where you'll get to conduct your very own SWOT analysis. If you've been following along in our course, you already know that a SWOT analysis stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's a powerful tool used to evaluate the internal and external factors affecting any project or business. Now, let's start by identifying your strengths. These are qualities or capabilities that give you an advantage over others. Think about what makes you stand out or unique. Maybe it's your expertise in a certain area, your leadership skills, or even something as simple but impactful like your ability to maintain positive relationships with clients and colleagues. Next up is weaknesses. We all have them, but acknowledging them is key to improvement. What are some areas where you feel less confident? Perhaps there's a skill you haven't mastered yet or an aspect of your work that others do better. By recognizing these weaknesses, you can focus on developing strategies to address and improve upon them. Now let's move on to opportunities. Opportunities are external factors that could be beneficial for you if acted upon properly. These might include market trends, new technologies, or even partnerships with other organizations. For example, if there's a growing demand in your industry for high-ticket services, this presents an opportunity to capitalize on that trend. Finally, let's talk about threats. Threats are external factors that could harm your progress towards achieving your goals. These might include changes in the market, economic downturns, or even competition from other businesses offering similar services. Identifying these threats early can help you prepare strategies to mitigate their impact. So now that we've covered the basics of SWOT analysis, It's time for you to apply this knowledge practically. Take a moment and jot down your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in your notebook or on a digital document. Remember, being honest with yourself is crucial here. Don't shy away from listing those areas where improvement is needed. Once you've completed your SWOT analysis, reflect on what insights you gained about yourself or your business. This exercise should help clarify the path forward and guide your decision-making process in the future. That concludes our practical lesson today. By now, you should feel more equipped to conduct a SWOT analysis for any project or venture you're involved in. Today, we're diving deep into how businesses can leverage 3 powerful frameworks to assess their environment and competitive landscape: SWOT, PESTLE, and Porter's 5 forces models. Let's start by revisiting SWOT strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. It's a straightforward tool that helps us understand what we're good at and where we can improve. But to really get a comprehensive view of our situation, it's useful to expand this analysis with PESTLE and Porter's 5 forces. PESTLE stands for political, economic, sociocultural, technological, legal, environmental factors influencing the business environment. By considering these external factors, we gain insight into how government policies or market trends might impact our strengths and opportunities. For example, a new law could present an opportunity to tap into high-ticket markets while also posing a threat if it increases compliance costs. Now let's talk about Porter's 5 forces: threat of new entrants, bargaining power of suppliers, competitive rivalry in the industry, bargaining power of buyers, and threat of substitute products. These forces help us understand our competitive landscape more clearly. For instance, knowing that there are high barriers to entry could be a strength for your business, but also means you're facing tough competition. By combining these models, we create a comprehensive picture of where the company stands. It's like putting together puzzle pieces. Each model gives us another piece of the bigger picture. SWOT helps us know our internal strengths and weaknesses, while PESTLE and Porter's 5 forces give us context about external factors influencing those aspects. Let's take a moment to consider a real-world scenario. Imagine you're running an eco-friendly clothing company. Your SWOT might include high-quality materials as a strength, but also the challenge of sourcing these sustainably. Now overlay this with PESTLE. Government incentives for sustainable practices are opportunities, whereas increasing environmental regulations could be threats. Finally, Porter's 5 forces would show that competition is high due to growing interest in eco-friendly products. Suppliers have strong bargaining power because raw materials can be scarce or expensive, and buyers might have more choice if they're willing to pay a premium. By combining these frameworks, we see how each factor interplays with others. For example, while increasing costs could seem like a weakness, it also creates opportunities for differentiation and innovation. The nitty-gritty details of all 3 models help us make informed decisions about where to focus our efforts and resources. In conclusion, integrating SWOT, PESTLE, and Porter's 5 forces provides a robust framework for strategic planning and decision-making. It enables businesses to not only see their strengths, but also understand how external factors impact those strengths and weaknesses, ultimately guiding them towards sustainable growth and success in today's dynamic business environment. Today, we're diving into how SWOT analysis fits perfectly within the balanced scorecard framework, helping businesses achieve their strategic goals in a structured way. Picture this: you've got your organization's mission statement fresh in mind, and now it's time to break down what strengths and weaknesses might be holding you back or pushing you forward. That's where SWOT comes into play. First off, let's quickly recap what SWOT stands for: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's a simple yet powerful tool that helps us understand our internal capabilities compared to external factors affecting our business environment. Now, when we talk about incorporating this into the balanced scorecard framework, we're essentially aligning these SWOT elements with 4 key perspectives: financial, customer, internal processes, and learning growth. Starting with the financial perspective, Think about how your strengths can improve profitability or reduce costs, while weaknesses might be hindering cash flow or investment returns. Opportunities could involve expanding into new markets or increasing market share, whereas threats may include regulatory changes or shifts in consumer preferences that impact revenue streams. Next up is the customer perspective. Here, we consider how our strengths enhance customer satisfaction and loyalty, while weaknesses might detract from brand reputation. Opportunities could arise from better understanding customer needs or improving product quality, whereas threats might involve increasing competition or declining customer engagement. The internal processes perspective focuses on operational efficiency. Strengths in this area might include streamlined workflows or advanced technology usage, but weaknesses could be holding back productivity or innovation. Opportunities here are about enhancing process capabilities and leveraging new technologies, while threats could involve outdated systems or inefficient practices that slow progress down. Finally, the learning growth perspective examines our ability to develop employees and foster a culture of continuous improvement. Strengths might include robust training programs or an innovative mindset within teams, whereas weaknesses could be a lack of development opportunities or resistance to change. Opportunities in this area could involve implementing new learning tools or promoting leadership development, while threats might include high employee turnover or a reluctance to adopt new methods. By integrating SWOT analysis into each of these perspectives, we're able to create a comprehensive view of our organization's performance and potential for growth. It's like putting all the pieces together in a puzzle to form a clearer picture of where we are now and where we want to be. This holistic approach ensures that no aspect of business strategy is overlooked, allowing for more informed decision-making and strategic planning. So there you have it. SWOT analysis as an integral part of the balanced scorecard framework. It's all about understanding your strengths and weaknesses while identifying opportunities and threats, ultimately guiding your organization towards achieving its long-term goals in a balanced way. Today, we're diving into something really useful for product development, SWOT analysis. So let's get started. Now, you might already know what SWOT stands for: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. But how do we apply this to developing a new product? Well, it all starts by understanding the 4 key areas. First up are strengths. These are the positive aspects of your product that give it an edge over competitors. For example, if you're launching a high-ticket luxury item, its unique features and craftsmanship could be considered strong points. Next come weaknesses, things that might hold back your product or make it less appealing compared to others on the market. Then we move on to opportunities. These are external factors that could help boost your product's success. Maybe there's a growing trend in the market for eco-friendly products, which aligns nicely with your green manufacturing process. Finally, threats. These are potential negatives that might impact your product negatively. For instance, if you're entering an already crowded market where prices are low and competition is fierce. When conducting this analysis, it's important to think broadly about each category. Don't limit yourself to just the obvious points. Dig deep into the nitty-gritty details too. Ask questions like, what sets our product apart? Are there any gaps in the market we can exploit? Is there a risk of technological obsolescence? By thoroughly examining these factors, you'll gain valuable insights that will guide your development process and help shape your marketing strategy. Remember to involve all stakeholders from designers to marketers, as their perspectives are crucial. So there you have it. By applying SWOT analysis in product development, you can better understand where your strengths lie, identify areas for improvement, capitalize on market opportunities, and mitigate potential threats. Today, we're diving into an essential tool for market research, SWOT analysis. So let's get started by understanding what SWOT stands for: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. These 4 categories help us dissect our business or product and see where it shines and where there might be room for improvement. First up is strengths. This is all about identifying the positive attributes of your offering that give you an edge over competitors. For example, if you're selling a high-ticket item that's also eco-friendly and made from sustainable materials, those are definite strengths to highlight. Next comes weaknesses. These are areas where your product or business could improve. Maybe it's something like limited distribution channels or higher production costs compared to rivals. It's important not to shy away from acknowledging these because addressing them can lead to significant growth. Opportunities are the third component of SWOT, and they focus on external factors that could benefit your business. For instance, a growing trend towards sustainable products is an opportunity for businesses like yours that already incorporate eco-friendly practices into their offerings. Lastly, threats refer to external challenges or risks that might hinder your success. These could be anything from increasing competition to changes in consumer preferences or regulatory requirements. Now, let's talk about how to use SWOT effectively. Start by gathering data and insights through market research, customer feedback, and internal reviews. Once you have this information, organize it into the 4 categories of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This might sound like a lot of work, but trust me, the clarity it brings is worth it. Remember to involve key stakeholders in your SWOT analysis process, because different perspectives can provide valuable insights. Also, don't forget that SWOT should be dynamic. Regularly review and update your analysis as market conditions change or evolve. In conclusion, utilizing SWOT effectively can help you navigate complex business environments by highlighting your strengths and weaknesses while identifying potential opportunities and threats. So make sure to embrace this tool as part of your strategic planning process. Today, we're diving into an important topic in strategic planning: aligning SWOT findings with your organization's strategic objectives. Let's start by quickly reviewing what each part of SWOT stands for. Strengths are things you do better than anyone else. Weaknesses are areas where you could improve or need support from others. Opportunities are the high-ticket items that can help you grow and succeed, while threats are external factors that might hinder your progress. Now, let's talk about how these SWOT elements connect to your strategic objectives. Your strengths should align with key goals that leverage what makes your organization unique and successful. For example, if you're known for high-quality customer service, then one of your strategic objectives could be to expand offerings tailored around this strength. Weaknesses need attention too. They shouldn't stop you from achieving your goals, but should guide how you approach them. Maybe you have a weakness in technology infrastructure, so an objective might focus on upgrading systems to support growth and innovation. Opportunities are golden. Identify these early and align objectives with plans that capitalize on potential, such as expanding into new markets or developing innovative products. Lastly, threats require strategic planning too. Your goals should include strategies to mitigate negative impacts from external factors like increased competition or regulatory changes. Let's walk through an example. Suppose a tech startup identifies high development costs as a weakness and sees a growing demand for AI solutions as an opportunity. A strategic objective could be to partner with a larger firm to access cheaper development resources while focusing on building AI-based products to capitalize on this trend. Remember, the key is to match SWOT findings directly to your objectives in a way that builds upon strengths, addresses weaknesses, leverages opportunities, and minimizes threats. By doing so, you ensure your strategies are not only aligned with organizational goals, but also responsive to both internal capabilities and external conditions. That's it for today's lesson on aligning SWOT findings with strategic objectives. Let's dive right into today's lesson on making informed decisions using SWOT insights. Now, you might be wondering what exactly a SWOT analysis is. Well, it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats basically. It helps us understand the ins and outs of any situation or project by breaking down its core components. Let's start with strengths. These are your assets or abilities that give you an edge over competitors. For example, if you're running a high-ticket service business, having experienced staff could be one of your strengths. Weaknesses, on the other hand, are areas where you might need improvement to stay competitive. This could include factors like outdated technology or limited market reach. Now, let's talk about opportunities and threats. Opportunities are external factors that can help you grow perhaps a new trend in your industry or an emerging market. Threats are potential dangers outside your control, such as changes in regulations or economic downturns. When making decisions using SWOT insights, it's important to consider all four aspects together. For instance, if you're thinking about expanding your business into a new region, analyzing the SWOT of that area can help guide your decision-making process. Here's how you could apply this. First, identify what strengths and weaknesses might come into play in the new location. Next, look at potential opportunities. Are there any upcoming trends or market needs you could capitalize on? Finally, assess threats like competition or regulatory hurdles. By doing so, you're better equipped to make a well-rounded decision that takes all factors into account. Remember, SWOT isn't just about listing pros and cons, it's about understanding your environment thoroughly. To sum up today's lesson, using SWOT insights helps you gain clarity on your situation by breaking down strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This way, you can make informed decisions that are backed by a comprehensive analysis of the nitty-gritty details involved in any decision-making process. That's it for now. I hope this gives you some tools to tackle those tough choices with confidence. Thank you for joining me on this journey through making better decisions with SWOT analysis. We started by exploring the foundational aspects of strategic decision-making and its importance to organizations. Then, we dove into understanding what SWOT analysis is all about and how it can be used as a powerful tool in your decision-making arsenal. We learned how to identify internal strengths and weaknesses, recognizing that knowing where you stand internally is crucial for growth and improvement. Just as important was learning how to detect external opportunities and threats, giving you the full picture needed to make informed choices. Through case studies and practical exercises, we put these concepts into action, seeing firsthand how SWOT analysis can be applied in real-world scenarios. We also looked at integrating SWOT with other strategic tools like PESTLE and Porter's 5 forces models, enhancing its effectiveness even further. As you venture into more advanced techniques for SWOT analysis, such as using it for product development or market research, remember that the key is to tailor your approach to fit your specific needs. By aligning your SWOT findings with strategic objectives and making decisions based on these insights, you'll be better equipped to navigate any challenges and capitalize on opportunities. I hope this course has given you valuable tools and strategies for improving your decision-making processes. The most important takeaway is the ability to systematically analyze situations using SWOT analysis, leading to more confident and informed choices. Now it's time for you to apply what you've learned in real-life scenarios. Whether at work or in personal projects, use these techniques to make better decisions. Remember, the goal isn't just knowledge but action. Take every opportunity to put your new skills into practice and see firsthand how they can impact outcomes positively. As you move forward on this path of continuous improvement, I wish you all the success you deserve. May your decisions be strong and guided by clear insights. If you enjoyed the course or have any feedback, please consider connecting with me or leaving a review to help other learners. Thank you once again for being part of this learning journey.